Now, L&T Chairman S.N. Subramanian, who came into the spotlight months ago for endorsing 90-hour work weeks, announced that women employees in the L&T parent group will now be entitled to 1 day of paid menstrual leave. Women comprise, in fact, roughly 9% of L&T's 60,000-strong workforce, and this move will then be benefiting about 5,000 women employees at this company. But this decision overall has been largely hailed as progressive in the corporate space. I'm being joined by Nikki Gupta, co-founder and CEO of Teamwork Communications Group. I'm also going to be joined shortly by Sarah Shah Halim, women's rights activist. Let me first bring my question to Nikki Gupta. Ma'am, thank you for joining us and happy Women's Day to you. This is a big step in addressing gender parity at the workplace, don't you think?
Absolutely. Good morning. So I would not say Happy Women's Day. I would say womanhood is 365. I believe that we should not appreciate women only for a day. It should be a moreover open discussion on a daily basis because we uplift women, encourage, and they are a contributor on a daily basis. So we should do such discussions more often, not just on a day.
Absolutely.
Yet, kind of decisions are definitely going to break the stigma and bring the parity. And since menstrual hygiene kind of discussions are not talked a lot in such society, in our society. So yeah, more and more, I think corporate should come forward, talk about it and accept it. In our organization, if I talk about it's a women-led organization in our most of our team leads are women and we have 70% workforce women, so we have 12 days work from home in a year. So I think 1 day leave is not doing justice, but yes, this topic a big corporate like L&T is taking it forward is definitely going to contribute in the society.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, we've seen time and again that women's health usually gets brushed off or not taken as seriously. So this is a pivotal move in at least starting the conversation on what more we can do to ensure the space is more conducive for women.
I think many kind of initiatives we should take when it comes to women health. Women go through from puberty to pregnancy and from motherhood to aging. I think at this level, be it a lot of initiatives are required to bring change in this society. I think we should do more on redefining workplace, more productive. I think legal policy should be formed. We should do policy standardization where other corporates and the government should also participate. We should have more regular discussion on this. Expanding healthcare, I think, and the more employee benefits, keeping that women-focused approach, that's gonna help in a long-term perspective.
Yes, ma'am. And however, there is still a fine line when it comes to nuances of these initiatives. Now, if women are discriminated or looked over for promotions or even expected to work more to compensate for their menstrual leaves, that then defeats the whole purpose of bringing in such an initiative.
Absolutely, we should. So that's what in our organization, if we talk about, we have not limited it's a menstrual leave, work from home. We have given it 12 work from home whenever woman is feeling low or they have a, different kind of a issue at home. They have a child, they want to take care of their child or they have any health related issue. So they can take their work from home and work peacefully. So rather than just talking about the menstrual health or any specific things, yes, we should, when we talk about we are all working together, so with men. So I think that's not the right approach also at the same time.
Right, but do you think there is a shift occurring in the corporate workspace for ensuring women have a safer empowerment environment, empowering them to be more productive by understanding their needs in a workplace?
Since, as you already said, that many organization, L&T has huge number of organization women workforce and many organization has huge number of workforce. So it's very important to uplift because that the kind of, care, empathy they bring in the ecosystem, men can't bring that. So it's very important to uplift, encourage and empower women.
Right, and Nikki Gupta, before we let you go, do you also think it's important to sensitize workers in an organization, both men and women, to understanding each other's needs? They're not going to be the same. I think that has to be spoken about. The fact that women's needs are different when it comes to workplace, and their menstrual cycle also affects their productivity in a month, and that's not the same way as how men work. So that sort of understanding and sensitization needs to be brought into workspaces as well.
Certainly, because wherever it's a male leadership also should be a part of this kind of a dialogue to prevent the bias nets and misconception. Because majority of the organization are led by men, so they should also be, I think, part of the discussion, and we should do these kind of a discussion more often in our society to, and not only in the organizations. I believe schools and the media should, have such discourse more often, where, everybody feel this is the need of the hour.
Right.
And it's also important. It's not just that we are doing once in a year such kind of a discussions.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nikki Gupta, for joining us and sharing your thoughts on this Women's Day, on this particular topic. And of course, like you said, it's not just about a single day, but about making small changes throughout the year to ensure that women have a safer and conducive environment at work.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.